Hi, welcome to the 1 Liter Podcast. You will watch us drinking 1 liters of beer whilst talking about shies. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to the 1 Liter.
Prost.
Prost. Ja, what's up? Welcome to the 1 Liter Podcast 2024.
Welcome, 2024 edition. Now, we've got something in store for you guys, but also, Joel,
Yeah.
if you were born on the 29th of February, what day would you celebrate your birthday?
Isn't it a leap year?
Yeah.
So
So it doesn't exist for 3 years.
So essentially a 50-year-old man would be like 23 or something.
Exactly. No, less. It'd be divided by 4.
Oh, shit.
So one of the guys from work was like, yeah, I've got a friend. I'm going to her 6th birthday party. And I was
What
like,
a smart ass.
you dumb dog.
That's sick.
He honestly reckons that she doesn't even acknowledge her birthday for the other 3 years and then just celebrates it on the one leap year.
That's kind of cool. Thinking about it like that, a birthday's become far more of a significant celebration.
Yeah, but 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. You can't even have an 18th birthday or a 21st. Those are the 2 milestones here in this country.
That's interesting. How do people, when someone wants, let's say all your mates have turned 18, when are you officially 18 years old? Like, how did the government rectify that for young adults?
Yeah, well, here's the question. Do you celebrate
The day
on
before.
the 28th of Feb to keep it in Feb? But technically, you're only 365 days older on the 1st
You're getting
of
too
March.
technical with me, all right? I'm having
You're doing a 28th, are you?
28th, yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
That's-
doing?
I asked around at work. Most people said 28th because they would want to keep it as February, like my birthday's in Feb, rather than having to say, my birthday's in February 1 year, but then it's in March for the other 3 years. Dumb. I get it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
So 28th. Lame.
Man, that is very interesting. I had something funny to say. So I forgot. It doesn't matter. But that's a really that's a really cool topic to bring up first thing, bro. I like that. So right off the bat, can I please have your best Robert Downey Jr. impersonation playing Iron Man?
You cannot have that.
Come on, man.
I can't just do a random actor.
Pick a random actor and ask me to
if
do their
The
impersonation.
only way that I can do voices
is if I do it first.
No, well, yes, because it's if I have just watched a scene of them and then I copy it. I'm a good copier if I've just heard it, but like getting it out of memory and then turning it into a real voice, shocking.
The camera's on. Do me a favor. Close your eyes.
Shocking.
Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Good. Good, Philip. Now, when I say
And on
Robert
the out breath, hold.
Git Hoth. Now, we're calm. When I say Robert Downey Jr. movie, not movie, what's the first thing that pops in your head? Right at the end of Endgame, maybe him.
No, I'm picturing him, Iron Man, in the suit with his that scene where he like gets the guns on his shoulder and he takes out 3 of those terrorist guys.
Does he have a line in this scene?
Probably.
If he had a line, what do you think he'd say? What's the cadence? How? Because he's usually pretty calm in that suit. Like if you remember,
I think the thing where I can think of a line is when he's about to flick.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Right. So if his line was Friday,
Do it. I want you to do it.
well, I'm Robert Downey Jr. I don't. What does he say? What is he? He's like oh really? That's your plan? Okay. Well, he kind of has a bit of a to his
Yeah,
voice.
he does. Didn't I send you
Friday,
a reel?
send me over the schematics of the blah blah blah.
Exactly. Didn't I send you a reel of someone that was like how to talk like Robert Downey Jr. and he makes it like it's 2 characters
Breaks it down?
combined. It's like part I can't remember what he uses, but it's like part Homer or something and part something else, and then he merges the two and it becomes Robert Downey Jr.'s voice. It's clever.
Let me ask you this.
And that blows my mind, that shit, because I'm like,
It's so
how
cool.
do people know? Or like with, I saw that guy, I can't remember his name, black comedian, but he was on some talk show and he was
Dave
like,
Chappelle?
no, but he was doing an Obama impersonation. And then he's like, I did a decent Obama, but then someone was like, no, you got to talk more from the back of your throat. And then it just became like,
I came to believe
perfect. Yeah. But
that
I think some more back of the throat. Like,
I came. Barack Obama. People of Kandahar want to express their gratitude that we've come here. And I feel, something like that.
yeah, something like that. Exactly.
So is there any kind of celebrities, and a celebrity can be anything from an actor to a politician to a musician to a painter to whatever, that you've seen enough times on TV where you think, or you've said to you've kind of reenacted their voice that you think just maybe if you had a gun to your head, you might be able to pull it off?
Yeah, obviously. The only
Give me
one
one.
that I can do is Ace Ventura.
No.
Barry.
We've
That's the
heard
only
this
one.
before. We've heard this before.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it,
All right,
but I'm
you
just telling you.
You give me an actor and I'll try to do him.
All right.
Hold on, let me get my 3 breaths in.
no, you get to know the actor before the 3 breaths.
All right.
And it is. Fuck, I'm trying to think of something clever that's might be difficult, but
Not Morgan Freeman. I hate doing Morgan Freeman.
yeah, but
dude.
that's too obvious. That's too obvious.
Blues.
But I also want someone that has a unique voice so I can tell.
Mm.
I want you to do.
You're like, Jesus Christ.
No,
All right.
I was going to say Seth Rogen, but you don't even like him. Yeah.
What are you guys doing? Let's go. Move. Easy. Too easy.
Yeah. It's a unique voice. What about
Everybody pees and poops.
Henry Cavill?
Okay. That's interesting. London, England, Henry Cavill. So maybe I thought if I had a project and I do it, then maybe it would be a bit more closer to home for me. And I thought that that's more of his cadence.
Yeah.
I can't get his.
Well,
I'm
that's
from-
the
hello,
cadence
I'm from
is one of
London.
the most important things, because if you can nail the cadence, even if the voice is slightly off, people will be like, "Oh my god, that's how old mate talks."
Yeah. I'm London. I'm from London. London, England. Hello, Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill here. Hello.
I love the building.
I have to work it out.
Yeah.
I have to work it out. I have to work it out. London, England. I have to work it out. Not out. Out. I have to work it out. So, when I was doing Superman, I thought, this could be better. And so I wanted to keep, see, he has a very
What about?
baritone
I
voice.
got one. What about Jake Gyllenhaal?
Jake Gyllenhaal, yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal's, yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal,
What's that scene from
Danny Darko.
Sex, Love, and Other Drugs? Hi, Lucy. Is that her name? Where he's just yelling out to some chick, and the other guy's like, "That's not Lucy." He's like, "Oh, I know,
I know,
but if I call her Lucy."
Jake Gyllenhaal kind of has like a, that's a hard one.
That's why I said it.
So I feel like sometimes Jake Gyllenhaal is a bit nasally. He's in the back of his nose there, and so Jake Gyllenhaal maybe he's like he's got that grin that kind of goes like this. He's
side grin.
Actually, it's pretty America. Jake Gyllenhaal. Actually, it's pretty fun. No, I can't do it.
Nah, that's a good one, isn't it? That's a good one.
Yeah,
because it is quite unique. Like if you heard a quick recording, you'd definitely just go Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
What about? I'll give you another one. It's so hot in here. I'll give you another one. What's his name? Ryan Reynolds.
Well, then maybe if you didn't do this, and then Ryan Reynolds is like, a dead. Well, then maybe maybe I want to play Deadpool, and maybe I don't want to do that. Da-da-da-da-da. I need a sentence, and then I can. Ryan Reynolds
That's
is
just
like,
lazy writing.
Well, that's just lazy. Yeah. No, I can't. I need to listen to it for a week and then I'll get it.
That's what I say. Like if I hear it and then straight after I could copy it and it would
Yeah.
be decent, but I'm
They're-
not claiming to be good.
The three that you just gave me are very much you have to hang out with your friend for years to do an impression of them. But I'm asking.
Yeah, but otherwise it's just a real obvious shit.
Yeah, but the real obvious
Like
ones.
do Hagrid. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, exactly. But like, do Hagrid. See if you can actually do it. That's the fun.
Wizard, Harry.
No, see, you're just going. You gotta like, you're a wizard, Harry. You gotta add multiple layers to the voice, you know.
Yeah, that's why you gotta.
I don't want to do that, you know.
There
That
you
was
go.
bad. That was bad. But all right, let's.
That was decent.
All right. Well, look, in the spirit.
Speaking of being voices,
Yeah,
doing voices.
let's move on from this. But in the spirit of film and TV and my career as an actor, I suggested to Phil that we print out scripts for scenes. Obviously, we're going to do scenes that appeal to our age and gender. And we just do some random reads of these scripts.
A table read.
Yeah,
This is
just
a table read.
first time reads throughs. And
Table read segment.
the scene that I've chosen today is one of the first scenes from the movie Mallrats. I think it's 1995 maybe or later. I will be playing Jason Lee's character Bodhi, and Phil will be playing the other guy who I can't even
I am
remember.
Quint.
Quint. So
Did you say you can't even remember his name? It's written on the page.
no, not the actual actor's name.
oh, yeah. I don't know who these are. I've never seen this scene.
Jason Lee's a guy who
I've-
played My Name's Earl, and he was in Mallrats
Sure.
and
I've read through half of this first page with Joel, so the rest of it's going to be completely new.
cool. All right, you want to go from the top?
Yeah.
Quint knocks on the door to Bodhi's room. Holy shit! If it isn't Monfrey. Usual vault rules apply. Touch not lest ye be touched.
You're such an anal retentive bastard.
Hey, I tried to teach you how to handle comic books in 6th grade, but oh no, you wanted to play Little League instead.
What's that?
You like it? I framed it before you got here.
Oh my God. Renee dumped you?
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned for Seeger.
What does that mean?
You had to be there. Just keep reading.
Wow. Look at this laundry list of complaints. You have no direction, no college ambition, no job prospects.
Yeah. It also says I have no dick, but you'll notice that follows the financial question, proving once more what women really look for.
Oh, what do you do for money anyway?
Blood bank, sperm bank, currently considering the eye bank.
Wow, she calls you callow in here.
You said that like it's a bad thing.
I mean, it means frightened and weak-willed.
Really? Shit. That was the only part of the letter I thought was complimentary.
Yeah, well, you're lucky. Unlike you, I didn't even get a letter filled with obscure adjectives.
What are you telling me here?
I, too, now am in the framing business.
Holy shit. Brandy dumped you? Wait a second. Aren't you two supposed to go to Florida?
Yeah, should have left this morning. It gets worse. I was going to propose to her
Where?
on the Universal tour.
You're kidding. What part?
When Jaws pops out of the water.
That's the most romantic thing I've ever heard.
Too bad I'm not trying to marry you.
Let me ask you something. Did you ever fart in front of her?
Why do you ask?
I never farted in front of Renee. Not once, all right? Then last week I let one slip. Today she dumps me.
You think that's why Renee dumped you? Come on, she's not the shallow type, Brody.
She was going down on me at the time.
Shut up.
What can I say? I was feeling very relaxed. When I'm relaxed, I squirt.
If all she did was dump you, you got off light.
I can't believe this shit. Why are we sitting here trying to figure out where we went wrong with our significant others?
Oh, we just nailed it in your case.
No, there is something out there that can help us ease our simultaneous double loss.
Ritual suicide.
No, you idiot. The fucking mall.
I prefer ritual suicide.
Come on, man. It'll be great. They got those new cookies at the cookie stand. You have to try them. They're awesome.
You think the promise of a cookie is going to lure me into doing something I have zero interest in? What am I? 10 years old?
Quint, don't be such a pussy, all right? Just go, all right? I'll tell you what. We can stop off at Brandy's if that'll make you feel better. You can talk to her, maybe patch things up. So,
Cut!
that was fun.
That was fun.
So, first note.
I can't wait to watch it back because I'm going to be so clunky
Well,
watching it.
Yeah. So, what can you tell me about your character, Quint?
My character...
Not just his journey and what his character's going through, but what can you tell me a little bit about himself in comparison to Bodhi?
Well, he's pretty... I mean, they're both pretty, like, easygoing and lighthearted and like, because they both just got dumped and they're just like, oh, well, I didn't get a list of complaints. Brr, brr, brr.
Yeah.
And even though he reckons he was going to propose to her, it's still very lighthearted. But I guess that's the nature of the, what is it, a film?
Yeah. So when I look at Bodhi, the first things that come to my mind is, why is he so interested in comic books? Why is he still playing Sega at an age where he should be working? Why is he
Where
not?
he should be playing GTA. I get it.
Why is he not working? Why does he think a blood bank, sperm bank, and even joking enough, but the fact that he mentioned eye bank is a very specific thing,
What is
so
an eye
maybe he
bank?
considered it like donating your eye
Oh,
to
God.
science.
Damn.
So what possesses him not?
Maybe he's just a comedian, though. Like, he knows what the funny things
Yeah,
are
but
to say. For
The
money.
guy's
He's on the dole.
yeah,
He's
Yeah.
on the welfare.
but his girlfriend's just broken up with him, and he's too concerned about his ego to care about the fact
Well,
that he just
I mean-
lost someone who loved him. You know, so like
Well,
my
that's
thing
what I
is
mean. They're both very lighthearted. And why do you frame a list of complaints?
exactly.
It's obviously written for comedy. He's like, oh, I thought that was the only bit that was a compliment.
Well,
What's
yes,
the actual scene? Tell
but
me.
you read it as comedy. I read a lot of it as disguised sarcasm.
Should we roll the whole thing again, but
Of
speak
course,
really
dude,
sarcastically
we're definitely going to do it again. Yeah. But
Oh,
but
really?
my
on this
question.
recording?
But this is why while we're
Ladies
talking
and gentlemen.
while we're talking about this is like, I'm seeing what if let's say, so this is the thing about it, acting, right? You got to understand why the character says what he says. These aren't just lines.
This is someone's life.
Yeah.
Joel, this is someone's life on a page.
If you ask me a question, I'm not going to answer it unless I have a meaning behind the answer. If you say to me, bro, if you had to chop the head off a chicken, what would you do? And then obviously my answer will be related to my previous experience as a human. If I'm a bit of a psychopath, I'll be like, I fucking chop that chicken's head off. If I'm a bit more compassionate, I'm like, well, what did the chicken do wrong? Is the chicken dying already? You know? So you got to figure out who your character is. And the best way to do that, first and foremost, it's all in the script. So when the best way to understand who your character is that the writer's written for you is to look at how other characters talk about you and describe you. That's usually the best way to figure out who you are, right? You're such an
So
asshole.
you should really, the
You're
way
so
they
sarcastic.
talk to you.
You say this, you say that. So you're like, okay, these people see me as this. If every character, if 3 different people in a 80-page script said, "I'm sick of your sarcastic shit," then you'd know that your guy's quite sarcastic, right? So
It's the only written way of telling what the tone is
yeah,
by other people's responses.
correct.
Interesting.
So clearly,
Unless it clearly says in a sarcastic tone
yeah.
in the descriptors.
So it's obvious to me that something's going on with Brody where he's at an age where he should have a job, but instead he plays Sega all day and his girlfriend's fed up with him because he doesn't have a job, right?
Yeah, he's a bum.
Yeah, he's a bum. So why is he a bum? And
Quintessential Quint.
Quint was planning to go to Florida. He was going to propose. So you can tell he's a bit more of a structured, healthier human being when it comes to his goals in the future, right? And you got to ask yourself, in regards to Quint, who seems to be a bit more well put together, why is he still friends with someone like Bodhi?
Well,
You know?
I've always wanted to do
And
this.
why would he go to someone like Bodhi?
Because they're mates. They've been friends forever.
Exactly, but he might have multiple
Friends
mates. So maybe he goes to
forever.
Bodhi because, and then judging by the way Bodhi talks, he's very straightforward. So maybe he knows Bodhi's not going to bullshit him. Maybe that is why. So that could be, if you were an actor, like a dead set actor, and you were like, what is my objective for this scene? Your objective for this scene is to go there and to get clarity from your scene partner. But you're bombarded with information that I am currently being single as well. So it's just like you dropped into a different scenario where you're like, oh, fuck, you too, huh? And then there's like almost like an air of agreement.
Okay, let's go through it again. We should, I've always wanted to do this, by the way, is like do this scene from this movie, but in like a completely different tone. Like imagine just changing the tone completely.
Yeah.
Imagine if you change the lighting, everything's dark, everything's dull.
We do that in acting.
gray.
You do that before scenes. Like if you're doing scenes and a director might go, all right, guys, before we start shooting, I want you to rehearse this scene, but I want you to do it as if you're having the time of your life
or in this case, I want to be like, imagine if we were actually completely upset, but we still have to say these exact lines.
Yeah.
And we were just like
So
down
we're
in the
both
dumps.
devastated?
Yeah, we're
All
both
right.
down in the dumps. And
Gotcha.
we're fucking upset that we just got dumped.
Yeah. All right. Knock, knock. Holy shit. If it isn't Monfrere. Usual vault rules apply. Touch not lest ye be touched.
Ugh, you're such an anal retentive bastard.
Hey, man, I tried to teach you to handle comic books in the 6th grade, but I don't know. You wanted to go and play Little League instead.
What's that?
You like it? My friend before you got here.
Oh my God. Renee dumped you.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned for Sega.
What's that mean?
You had to be there. Just keep reading.
Wow. Oh, look at this laundry list of complaints. You have no direction, no college ambition, no job prospects.
Yeah. And it also says I have no dick. But you notice that follows the financial question, proving once more what women really look for.
What do you do for money anyway?
Blood bank, sperm bank. Currently considering the eye bank.
Wow. She calls you callow in here. I don't even know what that means.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Well, it means frightened and weak-willed.
Really? Shit. That was the only part of the letter I thought was complimentary.
Yeah, well, you're lucky. Unlike you, I didn't even get a letter filled with obscure adjectives.
What are you telling me here?
I, too, now am in the framing business.
Oh, holy shit. Brandy dumped you? Wait a second. Aren't you two supposed to go to Florida?
Yeah. Should have left this morning. Gets worse. I was going to propose to her.
Where?
The Universal tour.
You're kidding. What part?
And Jaws pops out of the water.
That's the most romantic thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, too bad I'm not trying to marry you.
Let me ask you something. Did you ever fart in front of her?
Why do you ask?
I never farted in front of Renee. Not once, all right? Then last week, I let one slip. Today, she dumps me.
You think that's why Renee dumped you? Come on. She's not the shallow type, Brody.
She was going down on me at the time.
Shut up.
What can I say? I was feeling very relaxed. When I get relaxed, I squirt.
If all she did was dump you, you got off light.
I can't believe this shit. Why are we sitting here trying to figure out where we went wrong with our significant others?
We just nailed it in your case.
No. There is something out there that can help ease our simultaneous double loss.
Ritual suicide.
No, you idiot. The fucking mall.
I prefer ritual suicide.
Come on, man. It'll be great. They got those new cookies at the cookie stand. You have to try them. They're awesome.
You think the promise of a cookie is going to lure me into doing something that I have zero interest in? What am I, 10 years old?
Quint, don't be such a pussy. All right? Just go. All right, I'll tell you what. We can stop her for Brandy's if that'll make you feel better. You can talk to her, maybe patch this thing up.
That was way more boring.
It was boring, but I felt a lot more attached to the writing.
Really? Do you reckon it's more serious than we thought?
Well, maybe it's the
I thought it was complete comedy first.
Well,
Just by the fact that he framed a list of complaints from his ex-girlfriend that dumped him.
Yeah, but you got to think about these people. Like, this guy is, in my take, Bodhi, for some reason, pushed his girlfriend away. He doesn't have a job. He's not willing to commit to a job, and he just plays Sega all day, right?
It's a real lowlife.
He's a real lowlife. So when someone that he actually loves and likes finally leaves his life, how is his way of coping with it? Sarcasm. So underneath that sarcasm is a deep, deep resentment for himself and a pain, and this is how he copes with being forced away. Like, and to, like, you know.
Let me show you what I've got. Pain.
So,
do you even know that scene?
No.
I'll play it for you here.
Oh yeah, you told me about it at the gym.
Pain.
So I
Rest
see.
in peace.
So yeah, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Captain Holt.
Captain Holt, Brooklyn
Captain
Nine-Nine.
Raymond Holt.
Raymond Holt.
Hammond Holt.
Hammond Holt. Did I say Hammond? I said Raymond.
Hammond Holt.
So for me, reading this slowly in a just depressed way is me. It's almost like you know what a subtext is, right? So if I'm looking at you going, oh, Phil, I had a great day today, man.
Oh, yeah.
In my head.
The undertone.
In my head, I'm going, I fucking hate you. That's my subtext. That's what's driving the words coming out of my mouth. So the subtext for this in me is, maybe I am a pathetic piece of shit, but this is who I am and you should accept me. But underneath that, in the deep levels of his soul, he's saying to himself, I'm such a weak piece of shit. I need to become a real man and get a job and stop being immature, right? So
I love that we read these just as if they were written for us.
Yeah.
Like in our own voices. We didn't even put on any accents or voices or
But let's talk about Quint. So this dude thinks it would be romantic to propose to his girlfriend at Universal Studios when the Jaws robot comes out of the water.
But to me, that's not something to do with romance. To me, that has to be like a connection between the two of them.
He and Brody?
She must love Jaws.
She likes.
And
interesting. See, I didn't consider that.
That's the immediate thought is like, why would he do it when Jaws pops out of the water? It would be because they love watching Jaws together. Blah 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 blah.
Good note.
Yeah,
I didn't think of that. Good note. So
has to be.
So so clearly, you are very considerate of Brandy, so much that you planned a trip to propose to her for something that you know you guys are close to about. So
that's me giving him credit.
Yeah.
Like he could be a complete bozo and he's like, oh, it'll be funny to propose to her when Jaws pops out of the water and everyone's like, oh, and I'm like, oh, will you marry me?
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I think it's deeper than that.
Yeah, here's the thing. You're in LA and there's scripts going around and you're an actor and you're struggling and you're trying to break into Hollywood.
We're completely somewhere else right now.
Yeah. And then they ask you, your agent says, oh, they want you to audition. Yeah, it's like that. They want you to audition for a guy for a movie, go in there and you don't know anything and they give you the script and go, we'll give you 10 minutes, come back in and then read the script. So if
I had 10 minutes to read this beforehand,
so you don't
I
know.
would definitely pick my tone. I would be like, yep, this is what I'm about.
Yeah. So I want to hear about what that's about. So what would your tone be, dude? What can you tell me about Quint?
Quintessential Quint.
That how you would like to portray Quint from what you know about him from the text.
Well, okay. I would go, right, I would break it down into like segments because I want to know the mood changes because you can't just be plateauing the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the start, and my friend is greeting me with holy shit. If it isn't, what is that even?
Mon frère is French for my brother.
Ah,
So clearly that means I haven't seen you in a while for like, holy
exactly.
shit.
So, and you're going, holy shit. So you're greeting me like that. And then you say, usual vault rules apply.
So he refers to his room as the vault. And so
that's what I
obviously
figured.
he has a lot of valuables in there.
Yeah, so then first section, I'm a little bit like, ugh, you fucking dork. Like, oh, he's such an anal retentive bastard. Like, and then
these are toys. These are little fucking. Yeah.
And then I spot the thing and I'm like, what's that? And I'm confused. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why have you got this framed?
This looks out of the ordinary from all the other decorations you have in the room.
And then I go down, and then I realize
maybe as well
because I'm going there going, I just got dumped. How am I going to break it to him? And then I see that and I go, holy shit, Renee dumped you?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, because I just got dumped. And I'm like, oh my God. So it's like almost like a shit, we're in this together. So then I go down oh my God. And then you say something weird. And then I'm like, what's that mean? And then you say something back. And then I go, and then I start reading it. I'm like, oh my God, look at this laundry list of complaints. Like, you are a real loser. You have no this, no that. But then this is where the comedy comes in. It also says I have no dick. That makes me lol. So that character might be like, oh yeah, it does say that. But then I'm concerned. I'm like, what do you do for money anyway? So they mustn't be like awfully close because otherwise I would know that unless, again, it's sarcasm. Now, I said this twice. I should ask, what does callow even mean? Is it callow? Is that how you pronounce it? It means frightened and weak-willed. I hope you pronounce it callow.
Yes, correct. Like
so
callous.
So then I'm like, ooh, she's calling a lot of shit. Like, why are you framing this? And then I go, well, this is the right time to tell you, I am also single. And it gets worse. I was going to fucking propose to her. And you're like, holy shit.
So do you think, so it's funny, you, at this point in time, you would be comparing your breakup to mine and you'd say, fuck man, she's really railing you here, but I was going to go to Florida and propose. So clearly,
yeah, but I feel
you would see there's a different degree of superiority when it comes to being mature enough to have a relationship.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to one up him, but at the same time,
it would be a natural response though. You'd compare it.
No, because I can see that he's framed a letter from his ex that insults him. So I'm like, okay, so clearly you're not too upset or you're trying to do this to compensate. I also got dumped and I was going to propose. Like, that shit was serious, man. So I'm trying to be like, all right, well, you clearly don't care too much, but
I do.
I was going to propose.
Console me.
This is why I came here, man.
Do you think he wants consoling or do you think he just wants someone to hang out with? Someone to take his mind off the pain?
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Who knows why they met up? Probably just hanging out regular on the reg.
Yeah.
We should do, instead of doing like, do it as if we were really sad, the next scene, if it's a scene from like an American movie, I want to do it like as if we were completely in a completely different environment. I don't know. I can't think of anything but like do this scene, but as if we were both Australian bogans, but that's too easy.
Well, we don't have to do the American accents, but why can't we just keep doing this scene here, but try to do it as if...
So I don't want to do it too many times. It's going to get boring.
Dude, that's the job of an actor. All right, but here's the thing. We've done it as normal. We've done it as depressed. Should we try it as like... Well, should we try it as the way you and I have just described it to each other one more time?
Well, I feel like we need to try it with more pizzazz. We need to try it with some overacting in there. We need to try it with some sarcasm.
Okay, let's do that. All right, ready?
Are you going to be sarcastic?
Yeah. Well, obviously not directly towards you because you're my friend, but throughout the most
Why
of
not?
it. Well,
I could read that holy shit as a sarcasm. Holy shit. If it isn't.
Yeah. But
obviously,
like,
it's going to be like joking sarcasm.
most of it's sarcasm. All right, yeah.
Banter sarcasm.
How long do you think it's been since we've seen each other?
Probably not that long, actually. Probably like a couple weeks.
Yeah. Holy shit, if it isn't Monfrere. Usual vault rules apply. Touch not lest ye be touched.
Ugh, you're such an anal retentive bastard.
I tried to teach you how to handle comics in the 6th grade, but oh no! You wanted to play Little League instead.
What is that?
Like it? I framed it before you got here.
Oh my god, Renee dumped you?
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned for Sega.
What's that mean?
You had to be there. Just keep reading.
Wow! Look at this laundry list of complaints. You have no direction, no college ambition, no job prospects.
Yeah? It also says I have no dick. But you'll notice that follows the financial question, proving, once more, what women really look for.
What do you do for money anyway?
Blood bank, spam bank, currently considering the iBank.
Wow, she calls you callow in here.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
It means frightened and weak-willed.
Really? Shit. That was the only part of the letter I thought was complimentary.
Yeah, well, you're lucky. Unlike you, I didn't even get a letter filled with obscure adjectives.
What are you telling me here?
Yeah, I too now am in the framing business.
Holy shit. Brandy dumped you? Wait a second. Aren't you two supposed to go to Florida?
Yeah, should have left this morning. And it gets worse. I was going to propose to her.
Where?
At the Universal tour.
You're kidding. What part?
When Jaws pops out of the water, obviously.
That's the most romantic thing I've ever heard.
Well, too bad. I'm not trying to marry you.
Let me ask you something. Did you ever fart in front of her?
Oh, why do you ask?
I never farted in front of Renee, not once. All right? Then last week I let one slip. Today she dumps me.
You think that's why Renee dumped you? Come on, she's not the shallow type, Brady.
She was going down on me at the time.
Oh, shut up.
What can I say? I was feeling very relaxed. When I'm relaxed, I squirt.
If all she did was dump you, you got off light.
I can't believe this shit. Why are we sitting here trying to figure out where we went wrong with our significant others?
Well, we just nailed it in your case.
No. There is something out there that can help ease our simultaneous double loss.
Mm-hmm. Ritual suicide.
Oh, you fucking idiot. The mall.
Oh, no, I prefer ritual suicide.
Come on, man. It'll be great. They got this new cookie. They got these new cookies at the stand. You have to try them. They're awesome.
You think a promise of a cookie is going to lure me into doing something that I have zero interest in? What am I, 10 years old?
Clint, don't be such a pussy, all right? Just go. All right, I'll tell you what. We can stop her for Brandy's. If it'll make you feel better, you can talk to her. Maybe patch this thing up.
That's pure comedy right there.
Right. What's funny is you've never seen this movie. I've seen it multiple times. It's not far off. My character in particular is very sarcastic, but it's almost integral with his nature at this point in time.
I picture it, right? I picture it like sitcom-esque conversation, like back and forth. Oh, what's this?
Yeah, totally.
That's how I picture the scene.
I think both of the guys like each other, but like they're good mates, but I think they're both enthralled so much in their own lives that's why they're so quick to move on from a subject and not focus so much on something serious that the other person's mentioned, because they're like, oh, this is our friendship. Yeah, because like my character's super, super sarcastic and your character's sarcastic as well, but he's very like, what the fuck, man? What are you saying to me right now?
This is why I'm getting complete sitcom vibes. Like, this could have a laugh track and it would work. Like, seriously. They'd be like, oh, I know something that can make both of us. Ritual suicide. No, you fool. I prefer ritual suicide. Could have a laugh track.
Yeah, maybe the writer wrote it that way. You know Jay and Silent Bob?
No.
Okay. I'd love. Oh, I'd love to read this at some point in character. So I'm like, all right, you got to read it like Christopher Walken, and I'll read it like fucking.
Yeah. See, I like.
Holy
when I,
shit!
When I say when I say doing it, when I say doing it in like different tones, I would love to like film it in like actual dark lighting, and it's like real gloomy, and it's like a mystery, like.
Yeah. Holy shit!
Like,
if it isn't mon frere, usual rules apply. Don't touch. Lest he be touched. What was that? Wait. I'll do. Well, hang on. Let's just do a couple of lines. I'll do. You do Ace Ventura, and I'll do Christopher Walken. I tried to teach you how to handle comics in the 6th grade, but oh no, you wanted to play Little League instead.
what's going on over there?
Like it. I framed it before you got here.
Oh my God, Renee dumped you?
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned for Sega.
What's that mean?
You had to be there. Just keep reading.
Nah, I'm not doing it.
It's awkward. It's pretty funny though.
Yours is great. Yeah, yours is great. But mine, I just can't keep the character and read the line.
Bro, I'm
not a skilled actor.
I might land these lines and film this with you if you don't mind.
Yeah, we'll film it as a horror.
I think for me,
could you imagine it? How would it be a horror? I can't even imagine.
For me, yeah, we could work it out. We could. For me, in my acting career at the moment, I want to spend more time on the why. Why do they say these things? Why do I think they are the way they are?
I think that's too much depth for a comedy written.
No, not at all. Think about Ace Ventura. He's not just
yeah.
Like, think about if you were Jim Carrey, imagine the kind of backstory he made for Ace Ventura. Super smart guy, but he works shitty little jobs trying to pay for rent and loves animals. Super intelligent, loves animals, hates police, hates authority, will easily and gladly shit on the police to the point where he can get himself in trouble, but is comfortable just being who he is. Like, dude, that's some serious backstory that Jim Carrey made for that character.
Thanks, Iguado. Brilliant. Overacting at its finest.
Yeah.
Overactor. As a craft.
Yeah.
Overactor. They're on to me. You want a Phil's fun fact?
Vibration on your left palm, please.
Phil's fun fact. I don't know if you know this, but did you know that ice melting in water... Have I told you this? Ice melting in water does not change the level of the water. So if you have ice cubes in a glass...
The depth, the density of the water?
The amount, like the mass of the water. So if you have ice cubes in a glass, if you filled a glass to the brim and you had some ice cubes that were floating out the top, when they melt, the water level will still be the same, even though they were poking out when they were ice.
Wait, so let's say, sorry to cut you off, let's say you've got a fine camera and a fine line pointing at the tiny decibel of room left on this glass, right? You've got the tiniest tiny thing right...
Taking your little pop shield off.
Right at the top there. And then if you put ice cubes in, obviously the weight is going to extend it. But once the ice cubes melt,
so
that's going to add more liquid to the glass.
You fill it with ice cubes.
Oh, okay.
And then you fill the glass with the ice cubes in it. Once they melt, it'll be the same water level.
Interesting.
Which means that any icebergs or glaciers that are already floating in the ocean, when they melt, they're not going to change the ocean level. It's only the ones that are on land that are yet to then melt into the ocean that will change the level of the oceans.
Chimbus chumbus.
Yeah. Motion of the ocean. Chimbus chumbus indeed.
So when next you guys listen to this, so on Friday...
When next you guys listen to this...
Dearest Thalloway. So next Friday... our dear friend Jeffrey Killenstein is flying into Sydney from Brisbane.
Jeff.
And
And
then-
number 3 of Jeff Killenstein.
Yeah. And then the next day we're having a boat party on Sydney Harbour, right?
Yeah, that's the one we've been getting shredded for and
Yeah.
tanned. We've been tanning
Trying
all summer long.
So Phil's partner Em put us onto some tanning cream, which Phil has used before. And I
no,
said
I
to-
used a different one. I used one that's literally like an instant tan,
24/7.
ready to step on stage. Whereas this is an actual gradual tanner
Gradual
that will
tan.
stain your skin.
Yeah, which is so cool. I've personally never been tanned other than my arms and my head and a bit of my legs. So my torso has remained white all my life. It's never been a different shade. It's never been olive. It's never been anything. So I'm not afraid, but I'm interested to see how different I feel after being completely tanned and how addicted I would be to this. But so it's going to be one of those parties where all the boats link up in a circle, and in the middle there's a bunch of people partying with floaties, inflatable floating pool fucking
In the
So-
shark-infested Sydney Harbour.
yeah. So I'm certainly looking forward to having sex with some women.
And having your leg bitten off by a shark.
No, not that at all. So
Joel's looking forward to a woman from another boat waving him over. He head dives into the water, and as he penetrates the water, the thought of the shark is going to panic him, and he's going to be flailing about trying to get to this boat, and he's going, "Let me on, let me on!"
Yeah.
And the girl's going
You
to
know
whisper
what?
in his ear and says, "You're a really ugly swimmer."
I think my form getting to her will be immaculate, but like maybe like 10
So
inches.
the back of your mind will be racing. You'll be like, fuck,
Yeah.
gonna die, gonna die.
Yeah.
I look like a seal.
Maybe about half a meter towards the lip of the boat. I'll be like, "Nom, nom, 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 nom." But I do have a fantasy of having sex on a boat at a boat party. and
What would
then
that be called?
Yes, that's what we're trying to think
What
of.
would that be called?
So for our listeners, comment on the fucking video. There's a Spotify message section. We read them. Help us out here. We want to
get
know.
heaps of comments, by the way.
Do we?
Everyone listening.
Yeah, we do actually. I'm being sarcastic. So it's called the Mile High Club when you have sex on a plane. What is it called? I'm not even going to Google it. I don't want to because I want our fans
I'm
to
going to
tell us.
Google it.
What is it called when you have sex on a boat for a first time? Like,
It doesn't have to be for a first time. Oh, right. Because you're saying it's joining the Mile High Club when you finally have sex on a plane.
here's.
So what club are you joining if you have sex on a boat?
Do you know when you have sex with the girl in her period, it's a red belt? You have sex
Oh,
with
is
the girl.
it?
Yeah, red belt, and then you got brown belt. I'm sure
Oh,
you can
okay.
imagine what
Yeah.
brown belt is.
Yeah.
Would this be classed as the blue belt?
Oh, but then it's kind of more. It's not going into
It needs a more exotic name, I agree.
Yeah, because it's a location based. I feel like a location based Mile High Club, whereas the other one is more
Mm.
parts of the female based.
Bro, how good is the feeling of having sex and then returning to like a public event, whether it's like at
I
a
mean, like
party?
sneaking off
Yeah.
to go and do the
Not even
deed
sneaking
elsewhere.
because we're adults.
Yeah.
We don't need
I
to
don't
sneak.
mean sneaking, but I mean technically in your mind, it's sneaking off
Yeah,
from the social event.
you're trying to mask what you're doing, but like
Like,
if you go to a party or if you're at a social gathering or even
and you
like
do the eye talk. You're like, yeah, we're doing this.
yeah.
Let's
and
go.
then you have sex, and then when you go back, it's such a gangster feeling. Like it's not like you're like, oh, I'm better than everyone. It's just like you go back and you're just like,
You're like, you know what the feeling is? It's, you know the feeling? It's just
yeah, it's
you're like-
it's He, you know. But it's also like it's a level of clarity too. Like let's say you go to the pub. And this is very bogan, but like you go to a pub
very bogan.
and no, maybe it's not a bad pub. Maybe it's like a beer garden for like a work event, right? And it's really, really popping off.
It's
And
like
you-
Friday's Riverside
Yeah.
in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Eagle Street Pier.
Or I was thinking more Wynyard on a Friday afternoon, right?
But
maybe
I
it's-
don't even know Wynyard on a Friday afternoon.
It's fucking popping, dude. So it's like a private event for a work thing, and it's like you're you've had a long fucking week. Maybe you're pissed off at some people at your work and it's just annoying and people are talking to you and you're like, yeah, fuck, I got to be here. And then you've been making eye contact with Cheryl in HR.
In HR out of any place.
Yeah. You and Cheryl go to the disabled toilets. You got her face plastered against the window, the mirror of the bathroom. You're really plugging her from behind. She's loving it. You bust that warlord class nut. You go back out to those same people who are bothering you and that same boss who irritates you. You're ready to kiss them on the cheek and have a great time. You're just like, yeah, mate, fucking woo!
That's another level. I was thinking like you're going sneaking off with like your significant other and then coming back and be like, hee, we just did that. But your level is just like...
But no, that's the same.
Nah, it's different.
No,
it's definitely different. There's
he.
Yeah.
There's he more with the significant other. There's he.
Do you know what the other one is? Do you know what the other one is?
What?
It's like, oh yeah, I just did that. You know Cheryl? Yeah, great girl. Great girl. Yeah, HR.
You are spot on. It's and
you're like,
woo! Yeah.
If you knew what I just did.
Yeah. But the thing I like about the he with the significant other is like you're a bit more comfortable with those people you're with. So it's kind of like, let's say you're with a bunch of friends and family members, right? And you're having a great time with them. And then one of your siblings you're with says, let's go do shots secretly. You do
secretly,
yeah. Like, oh, bro, come here for a second. You go out there. He's like, bro, here's a 30-year-old bottle of gin. Do you want a shot?
Boom.
All right. You punch maybe 2 of those shots, and you go back, and it's, oh, I love you guys.
Yeah.
So it's that.
I'm
it's
having
like
a great time.
You had sex with your significant other. You go back to a group event. You're like, woo, all right, and you're a bit more jazzed.
And everyone's like, oh, you're in a good mood.
It's
What's going on here?
It's like doing some Colombian marching powder.
Doing the nose, powdering the nose.
Yeah.
Nose beers.
Bro. I'm looking forward to this boat party.
The nose beers, I just find that stigma is so shit now, especially probably because it's so overdone in Sydney. It's now just like such a status, weird, like cool thing. Like, yeah, bathrooms, yeah, sick,
Yeah.
I don't know. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, bro. Like I've been to plenty of pubs, even this year, right? For work in particular, which is shit. Because it's like, I have no social life. The only time I go to a pub is at work. But I've been to pubs and then left afterwards, and it's gotten to like maybe 7 or 8. And it'll be like a Friday afternoon, and people are kicking on, and you go into a toilet and you see 3 or 4 dudes go into a stall and they come out and they're like, oh yeah, we did it. No securities in here. And it's just like, and it's kind of like a fad.
Yeah.
Like they feel cool for doing it.
They feel cool for doing it. It's a fad. And like, I just feel like the dynamic completely changes. Like everything becomes about, oh yeah,
status.
We gotta do cocaine. Yeah.
Try hard, hey.
Yeah. It's like,
how good does that work?
Shut the fuck up. Why can't you just shut the fuck up?
Do you remember that high school, it had some gravity, but in primary school, when you called someone a try hard, that was like, oof.
I think that's an Australian thing.
Yeah.
I was talking to M, and try hard is not a thing in the UK, and I don't think it, or maybe I even asked Derek.
I think I may have seen an American mention it on YouTube recently. It might have been even a Shane Gillis video, but
yeah.
But like
try hard
is
an
so
Aussie thing.
It's
actually, I think Derek brought that up as one of his slang things. It's definitely an Aussie thing. We don't. Nobody else says try hard.
Due to the tall poppy syndrome, right? Australians always try to just keep themselves below that radar, depending on who you are, right?
Below the try hard radar.
Betray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Betray. Yeah.
You've betrayed me.
So for Aussies, like,
me.
So to be called a tryhard, that's dude. If someone called me,
that's a proper insult.
Sorry, dude. If someone called me a fucking pussy cunt, and then someone called me a tryhard, I take tryhard more offended.
Really?
Yeah, because it's just like,
I think it depends on the tone.
Fuck you.
I think it depends on the tone of delivery.
Yeah.
Fucking pussy cunt.
But
hey,
can I just finish this off by saying?
Well, I know. I need you to tell me about German staring.
Okay, I will. But I just wanted to say, there's this woman who just came from WA at my work at the moment, my current job, and she's from Perth, and she's in IT, and she gave me access to the printer today so I could print these off.
Oh, thanks, IT lady.
Yeah. And I was talking to her and I was like, "Oh, you're from Perth." I said to her, I was like, "You're really easy to talk to," because I heard people from Perth are a bit different.
Really?
Like
Oh, they're chill as.
I've heard people from WA are a bit because WA is so far away, they're a bit more standoffish. They're in their own world, and it's not an insult. It's just like it's the you can't insult someone for the way they've been upbrought.
Yeah, but I think that's also because of how it was portrayed, and especially through COVID, where they were like, locking themselves off from the
Well,
world.
this is way before this, but
that's what-
COVID has exacerbated that.
Yeah, but that's
opinion.
just how that's run. Whereas everyone I knew from WA, they're very chill people. Like they can afford things over there. You know, they all have houses.
Mhm.
They don't live in apartments.
Apparently, they don't have to pay tolls over there.
Oh yeah, there's no tolls. Doesn't exist. When I had I went over there for work and I had a hire car, and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, tolls don't exist." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Did you
Cool.
find? So do you know?
It seems over there. It seems everything's pretty new.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh yeah, it seems like there's money here, new, pretty clean.
Yeah.
And everyone's pretty chill. That's the areas that I was in anyway.
Do you know how when you speak? I'm still touching on what you just said, but side note, side coil. When you speak to someone from Sydney might talk like this. "Hi, how are you?" And then you speak to someone from Queensland. "Hey mate, how are ya?" Does WA have a twang?
I think it's a little bit more towards Bogan, and I feel like it depends
Yeah.
on what.
She mentioned Bogan as well. This woman from
Yeah,
WA.
and like you don't know what industry as well. Like there's obviously a ton of people that are making stupid money working in mines.
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
doing rig work.
I've been
So they're
Karratha
like,
and shit. Yeah.
yeah, so they're like making great money, can afford a great life,
Mm.
but they're still like,
Yeah.
with Shane Gillis. To
Yeah. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen,
wrap this up,
I've seen a lot of videos and obviously there's a lot. I've seen a lot of videos. That's it.
Full stop.
TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, the three heavy hitters for social media. But there is a well documented example of Germans in Germany making eye contact with not just foreigners but other Germans, and then there's no explanation, no context. So let's say I'm walking under a train and I sit in a train in Germany. I'll look up and there might just be one person making dead eye contact with me, and then you make contact with them, and then eventually they might look away. So this is an actual documented thing. It's a cultural thing, but there's no context that I've seen on my end that explains it. It's just like I don't think there's any aggression behind it. It's just like, maybe they're daydreaming. Maybe they're just like, you're another human being. I'm going to look at you.
No, I've noticed this.
So my question is, have you firsthand seen this in Deutschland?
I've seen it, yeah.
To you? Has it happened to you?
I don't think to me because I'm because I've
Very German looking.
I'm German looking, but I don't think it's happened to me in that extent because I wouldn't notice, because I would look away. I'm too shy with that shit. But I think there is a thing where in the German culture, it's not as weird as elsewhere, where you could be staring at someone and you could be half daydreaming, looking at them, and then just move on, and they move on. And it seems strange from the outside, but I think it's just completely like day to day. They're most of the time probably half daydreaming. Like they're thinking of other shit, and it's just not weird. Whereas other cultures, I feel it would be like, why the fuck is this person staring at me?
Bro, do you remember
Are they
how I
on
told
drugs?
you many podcasts ago? It was probably like episode 20.
Dudes staring at each other?
We stared at each other. We walked.
Yeah.
Looked at, yeah. I would be inclined to look away because I'm in a foreign country, and I'd be like, but like a part of me is like, is this person trying to hurt me? I need to keep eye contact.
Yeah, this is a different.
I
think this is a different example, because the way that you were saying is like you're staring at someone, they stare back at you, so you've almost like caught them staring at you, but you're not willing to break, so it's like a standoff. Whereas in the German scenario, I'm picturing like a subway, and you're just like you're going about your own thing. You might even have earbuds in or something. Actually, back when in my day, people didn't wear many earbuds. 'Cause they didn't exist, except for like the corded ones.
Back in my day, like you're a fucking old man.
Back in my day. But yeah, it would just be like you're gazing and that person happens to be in your gaze. And then you just set upon them in your gaze. And then you continue on with your thoughts.
But like, that makes sense. Like, because I admit sometimes I just want to stare at someone. Not that I find them disgusting or anything like that, but it's just like if I was standing in a subway and we were sitting across from each other on a train, for instance, and I looked at you, I'd be like, hey, this guy kind of looks European.
Yeah. And look, this is the same as me. I want to catch myself staring at people all the time and I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm being weird.
Yeah.
But I think that is a less weird thing over there. So you can, if someone's doing something, people will just Google at you and be like, and observe. Whereas here, I feel like it's a lot more, oh, don't let them catch me looking at them. Look what that person's doing over there. And you're sort of like sideways glancing. Whereas there, you just be like, that person is obviously doing something weird. So I'm going to look and observe.
What if the person isn't doing anything weird and they're just sitting there minding their own business?
Well, then you'd be like, maybe you're thinking, do I recognize that person? Oh, that person looks a little bit like my aunt. Interesting. Next.
That just goes to show the fortitude of Germans. It's just a cordial, efficient species, you know?
Yeah, just whatever you do, don't mention the war. I'm just kidding.
So
That's
you know my
Waffen
SS great coat that I have, the black and white one.
You do have the Hugo Boss.
Yeah. So that has no insignias on it or anything, right? But I know you're not the best on this, and maybe David would be the better. Phil's brother Dave would be the better person to ask him. But like, if I walked around,
he listens to this, so ask the question.
David, has David seen this coat before?
No, but he will get it in context.
David, message me on Insta and I'll show you a picture, but like I've got a replica World War II Waffen SS coat. It has no insignia on it, but it's a beautiful coat. It's like a fucking gangster.
Are you about to ask him whether you can wear this in public in Australia?
No, in Germany.
Oh,
so because it has no insignia on it, it's clearly identifiable as it's a very distinct coat.
It's distinct, isn't it?
So,
it can't be made out to be a normal trench coat.
I guess so. So if I'm walking around with this coat over the top of a business suit, I'm sure maybe 1 out of 40 people would go, I'm a historian. Excuse me, sir. Do you understand?
Are you a neo-Nazi?
Do you understand what you're wearing right now? And I'll go, my excuse would always be this. My acting teacher gave me this because we did The Sound of Music and I looked good in it, so he gave it to me. It has no insignia on it, and it's a very dashing coat. Let me wear it. You know?
On that note.
Just before we finish, and the people listening to this as well, just do this for me. Answer the same question in the comments as I'm going to ask Philip. What's one thing you're grateful for today? Today. People in the comments.
Very short-term memory. I'm just going to say our walking distance trip to a very nice pub with a very nice pub dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Nice one. I'm grateful.
Actually, today, one of my colleagues, random colleague, not even same role or in my team though, shouted our whole team, shouted us halal snack packs. Fries with meat and sauce. Chili, garlic, barbecue.
Very nice.
What a legend.
What a legend.
For lunch.
What's that person's name?
Peter.
Cheers, Pete.
Cheers, Pete.
I am grateful for clean water. Cheers. Have a good night, everyone.